Hello and welcome to this tutorial. This is Majid. In this tutorial we want to learn how to create a graphic design for a barbing salon. We want to create a business flyer for a barbing salon actually. So the app I normally use is Pixel Lab. So I will go into Pixel Lab now. I've already opened my application. So if you open the Pixel Lab application, this is how the interface looks like actually. So I'll be deleting this, then I'll be importing everything I want to use into this particular background. So the size of our design will come to image size, pressing this three dots button here, then you come to image size and you can see 1280 pixel. So that means it is in ratio 1:1 pixel, so we are not changing the size. So alright, okay, so we'll now come to this particular interface here, the shape interface, where we can also bring in images and other elements we want to use in our design. So this particular interface here, this guy here is known as the shape interface, so we are going to be using that guy. So now we'll come to import. So I'm using these two backgrounds for my design, so I'll select one first and then I'll increase the design. So then I'll place it in a central position. Alright, then I'll come to opacity and reduce the opacity. Alright, I blur this image online using the funky online photo editor. Actually, I have a video tutorial on how to do that, so I'll be sharing that with us. So yeah, I'm done with this. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to bring in shape. So I'm bringing in shape into this design. Alright, now I want to give this shape a color. The shape should be up. So the color I'll be giving this shape is a gradient color, so I'll enable the color button and I will go to gradient. So there are many gradient presets here that I did already, but I'll be doing another gradient preset actually for my own design. So I don't want to use this color, I want to use another gradient. So I'll come here. After I've clicked a preset here, then will not come to the plus button. You can see two or more colors makes a gradient, so I'll be using two colors for our gradient, and the color code we'll be using, I'll be mentioning that too. So I'll click on this. You can see the orange line highlighting that particular side is telling us that that is where you want to change colors. So now I'll come here to this particular box here. I'll come here to this particular box here. That is where I can choose the color I want to use. So I'll come here and then I'll go to this pencil button here. Once I click on the pencil button, that way I can type in the color code, the extra code of my color. So the X code I want to be using is, the color is a beige color, so the X code is capital letter D9B29C, D9B29C. Alright, so I'll click the plus button. So it's already brought the color, so that's the beige color. So the next one here, I want to use a very sharp color for this one, a very deep color. So I'll come here and also type the extra code for this one. So I erase that and type the next extra code, which will be amber, which should be A66249. A66249. So alright, so we now have our gradients. So these gradients, I will change the orientation by bringing this one down and then bringing this one up. like this. So the darker part will be down while the lighter part should be up. Also, I can make this one more deeper by increasing it here. We can see what has happened there. So the color code, that means the color code has changed. So if we go back there and go to color, then the gradient, if you click on this, you see that the color code has changed to A64623. Alright, so now let's continue with our design. So remember, we are designing for a Barbing Saloon brand. So I'll be bringing the next thing I want to use. So this guy, now I can now send this guy backwards. I can now send it to back, and then I will decrease the opacity of the image that was there before. Alright, so now I can now duplicate the shape again. I'll come here and duplicate the shape and then reduce the opacity like this. So the next thing I will do now is I will lock these guys down so that they don't move away. Then I will now import the particular images I want to use for my design. So now first of all, I'll bring in the clipper image. So this clipper will be somewhere, I want to place it somewhere around here, and then change the orientation like this. Then the next thing, I want to import a blurred part of the clipper so you can see. Then that will be hidden somewhere here, and I can still duplicate it and hide it somewhere here to actually. Alright, so I can lock those two blurred ones down, and then this should be standing. So the next thing now we want to do is to bring in text and some images. So before I bring in text, I would like to bring in some shapes. I click on my shape. I'll be using just 4 shapes. We are creating a very simple design, a very simple flyer. So we are not going to waste too much time. So okay, so this is the square shape I want to use. I just want to bring in 4 images representing a barbing salon. Alright, so let's delete these ones. I need to make it smaller so that it can contain whatever I want to put in there. Alright, so 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's continue. So yeah, I'll bring in texture. I'll go to texture and bring in images inside it. So I want to put this image where this particular person is barbing. So let's first of all put this guy there. So put it on texture. We can increase it, the size, or enable it this way that it fits in. Then we'll come to texture again for the second box. We'll come there, and then you can bring in this one in there, and we can also increase the size so that it will be showing. Also, we can now come to texture again and increase the size also here. So we are bringing this guy to as texture. So remember, we are using images that are representing what we are doing. So then the next one, I'll bring in the last texture inside it. And okay, we can now bring this one in. Alright, so all these images now are representing the barbing salon that we want. So now what I would do for this image is that I could duplicate this guy and then erase the texture, and then we bring it here. So bring in the first, this one here, we'll bring it up back. So what I want to use, I want to create like a outline for the particular image. So now, so you can see what I did there. I place it, I bring this one up on it, so I can duplicate this also, and then come here, click on this one to bring it up. This is the button that you click on to bring a particular image up on the other one. So this is up on it, this will also be up. So before that, I'll duplicate again, then duplicate again. So now this one is up on it. I'll bring this one up also, then this will be underneath it where this guy will come up. Alright, now so this one to bring it up and bring this underneath. We're still going to arrange all this well, so let's continue. Alright, now that we have this, I think we should erase this background first and continue. So we can give our background color again, so that's to make it more brighter. Can you see I gave the background the gradient color that was there before? So if I bring this back now and to have some effect, I can now come back. Since I've already blurred this, I can now give it what's it called, an opacity. I can increase the opacity. Alright, so now that we've done that, this particular clip I will go to crop and reduce some excess part away from it. Alright, so now we can bring it up and then let's place it somewhere strategic like this. Okay, now we want to bring in the name of the brand, the address, and many other things that should be here. So now we'll go to text. You can come to the alphabet button instead and click on text. So the name of the brand is Abreeze. So Abreeze Cuts, that's it. So Abreeze will be bigger while Cuts will be smaller. So Abreeze, then we'll go to our fonts under the text interface. So we want to use a stylish font. I'll be using Obedix. So I'll come here and put a space into here so that it will not cut out. So this is Abreeze. This is Abreeze. This is Abreeze. Abreeze Cuts. So I want Abreeze and Cuts to be at this particular side. Abreeze. Then Cuts, I will duplicate this and write Cuts. The Cuts, not the normal Cuts. We are using CUTZ Cuts. So I'm not using the same font for Abreeze and Cuts, so I'll go to the font again, and I'll change the Cuts to a stylish font, a very stylish one actually. So let's see which. Okay, I think Jungle Land is best for that. So let us see. Abreeze Cuts. Alright, so this Abreeze, what I will do next is I will give it a stroke of, let's say, 10, and give it a color here. Can give it that gradient color that we did the other time. Alright, so the next thing I'll do now is I'll duplicate this. Now come to this first one. I'll go to 3D text, enable 3D, and then we'll put up this stimulated lightning, and then we'll darken it well to make it show, darken 100%. Then our depth, we'll make it like say 10. Also we can do the rotation of 10, X rotation to 12 degrees, the Y rotation, let's leave it at 0, and that's all. So we'll come back to stroke and increase the stroke again. Alright, I want to do a text effect there actually. So this guy, I will reduce the stroke of the second one and then place it inside Breeze, and then we'll come to shadow. We'll give it a shadow. I'm giving this color, so the color code for that is F2A200. So I've given it that color, the shadow color of that one. So I'll duplicate this one again, come to stroke and give it just a stroke of 1, and then the shadow, put it off. Then we'll go to color and then I'll erase the color. I already have an erase color option here. Okay, so let's erase it. We'll click on this plus button and then drag this color palette down. Can you see this place? There is nothing there, so we are seeing just dots. That means we have removed the color of the text. So we will now place it on it. Can increase the stroke by 1, and then I'll give it the gradient color. Let's see how that will look like. Alright, so now I'll adjust the color of the gradient. Alright, so we have achieved a simple text effect there. So Breeze. So we can now lock all this one down so that they don't move away from their source, and then the cuts, we have to place it back. So now want the cuts to be showing very well, I can decide to put the cuts here, but I don't think it's going to stay well that in that position. It's not making sense like that. So what I'll do is all these images here, I'll bring them down. So I'm still going to arrange them later. So let us arrange these ones first. So Breeze cut. So now let's go to our grid lines. So this particular guy here is the grid lines, so let us use that to guide what we are doing. So I'll come here, click on that clockwise button and increase it to 35. So I want to make sure that my text are not too close to the edge and everything is balancing well. So Breeze cuts this cut like this. I think I still need to change the font for the cut, so let's change the font. It's not giving the vibe I want it to give. I want something very stylish. Alright, so let's use bisect, since we are talking about cuts, and bisect looks like something that is cutting. So that's Breeze cut. Alright, so now let us do some text effects on that also. Let's give it a stroke. No, wait, let's give it a gradient color stroke. Let's see, is it making sense? No. Let us remove the stroke and just give it a shadow so that it looks away from the background. So let's give the shadow of brown like this. Alright, so now the next thing now is to lock this one down. Now we want to continue whatever we are doing. So remember all our images here. So this guy here, I'll be placing them on top one another now. Okay, so we'll reduce this a little and place it inside. So it looks like you are placing something inside a frame. So to see what you are doing better, you can zoom it so that you will see that you are placing it well. So you can come here and use the position button to place it perfectly. Alright, so you can reduce the zooming back. So that has been placed perfectly. The size on all edges are now equal. Alright, so the next one, this guy here. So let's remember to be using our grid lines also, so make sure that they are well balanced. Alright, so now let's see, we reduce this one and place it inside. Let us see. Alright, so the next one, this one, position button to make sure that they are well balanced, reduce and then place. So this guy also, I'll bring this up. Alright, so let us see. Use the position button to balance it off. Okay, now we have achieved a framed design here. Let me see. You can still reduce the size of that one. No, that's too much. Position button, remove it. Alright, so we've achieved something like a frame. So we now lock all of the frames down. We lock them down so that they don't move away when you are designing. So now the clipper is a representation of what you are doing. So you can just place it somewhere here. So Abris course. Now we want to put in address, location, and any other things, then contact. So we'll come to our text again. We'll click on text. So we'll now come here. We can now place our address. So will tell us the address. It has number 28 Olojabara Street, Imoru, Ijebode, Ogun State. That's the location of Abris Court. So now we'll reduce the size very well. Let's lock the clipper down too so we don't move it. So this is the location of Abris Court. Oh, sorry, before location, we should tell them the services they offer. So let's edit. The services Abris Court offer. Services rather that they offer. So you can start from here and say that we'll go to fonts. We're using a bold font. So we use Montserrat bold. Use the services so we can leave the text a background. So text. So come to text. Let me see. So under text, we click on background. We are giving our text a background. So we can give it this color. The services that Abris Court offers. So we duplicate this, and then we can use so let's say Barbing, any style, Barbing of any style. Sorry, any style. Hair dyeing, they dye here. Hair dyeing. They do revamping. I don't know. Do men do? I can't really say. So barbing of any style, hair dyeing, sales of clipper, sales of clippers, clipper accessories. What else do they do? Sales of clipper. Oh, sorry, it's clipper. Supposed to be clipper accessories. And what else they do? They can also be what should we call it? Sales of clipper accessories. Okay, let's say and so on. etc. So etc. So that's it. So we'll give this one a font. Can give it Montserrat regular. So it doesn't have to be too bold. So barbing of any style, so the clippers. So we should be able to give our, let's give it a bullet point. So 1, 2, 3. So that's the service the Barbing Scott is offering. No, our etc does not need to have a bullet point. So let's use that. Save of clippers, accessories. Alright, so now we cannot have our location or address depending on English that you want to use. So let's use address. Let's use address instead of location. Address, our address, services, then address. So this is our address. We'll give it a font of Montserrat Regular. You can change it from that capital letter. Address number 28, Olojabara Street, Imoru, Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. Okay, so that's it. So now we should give our clients the contact address. So now we can now duplicate that. We now say contact. So then we can duplicate this and then write the phone number of our client here: 07035 95 57 31, 08055255570. So make sure you are using the number of your client actually. So this is the contact that they can contact Barbing Scott on. So when they dial these contacts, they'll be able to reach Barbing Scott. So now let us look at our grid lines and let's see if all of these things are well gridded. So now, so we can adjust until we achieve our desire. So we want to make sure that the space on both edges of our design are making sense, they are equal. So this is it. So all your design, you don't have to actually use all the whole space in your design, but only just make sure that everything you are doing, they are well aligned. So let us see what else do we need to do for this particular design. So anyone that look at this design will be able to know, okay, Barbing Scott is a barbing salon. So you don't have to put Barbing Saloon there again. So I want to bring these ones down. So let them be aligning with the image. So we should achieve a balance and alignment in our design. Alright, so okay, now yes, perfect. So this is perfect for Barbing Scott. Now we can now save this as desired. So this empty space, you can leave it, you don't have to put anything there. Simplicity in a design is very, very important. So we can save as image. I always use ultra. When you save as ultra, you give your design the best quality ever. So you can also save as project, so that maybe your clients need a correction, so you can only save as project. Now I want to do something I love doing after designing, enhancing my design. So I'll go to my favorite app, Snapseed. Then I'll click on this plus button. So when you enhance the quality of your design, it makes it look more beautiful and interesting. So now we're going to all photos, Barbing. Can you see now? You see, as we save this video ultra, you can see it's already looking beautiful. So now want to make it look more beautiful, so I can choose any of the presets here. I love using accentuate a lot because now it's going to bring, can you see what happened? I'm going to bring the real beauty and everything that your design have already. So you can see how beautiful that looks. Then you can now export and save. So if the deliver is for a client, there is no way a client will not love this because this actually looks so beautiful. So this is the end of this tutorial. I'm gonna see you in another tutorial. Bye.